Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Millie's Baseside Chats, where we are live streaming to bring some calm to the chaos of your PCS, which I know will probably be a little more chaotic this year than ever before. So we wanted to continue to bring you these conversations with our experts, even in lieu of everything that's going on in the world. We want to try to add resources and experiences to the conversation with how you're handling everything related to virus stuff. So quarantines, social distancing, you name it. Luckily, the format in which we do these shows is extremely socially distant. I am today going to be talking with my friend Krista Curtis, who is currently stationed over in Germany. So she's going to be able to give us kind of a firsthand account of what's happening there as a service family, how her life has been affected, how everyone's kind of handling everything, what's going on, the isolation, the quarantine, and how we're all kind of pulling together to get through this thing. So the main thing that we want to talk about today, so hopefully you are ready to jot down some notes and join the conversation. We want to talk about the PCS delays that are happening. Some of you were in the process of moving right now and have been delayed until May 11th. We are not 100% sure what that's going to look like on May 11th, but we want to make sure that you're prepared if and when those orders start coming back in and being picked up and moves start happening, because it's going to be cray, y'all. Okay, so today's episode also I want to mention is sponsored by our friends at Boldly. Boldly is a subscription W-2 staffing firm that is actively recruiting and hiring military spouse talent for their remote workforce. So if you are interested in pursuing a new career, I would definitely suggest checking them out. We'll tell you more about them in a little bit. But in the meantime, if you want to maybe pull up another window, don't close this one, and search boldly.com/millsojobs. You can learn more about what they've got going on over there at Boldly. Okay, so today I am bringing you my friend Krista Curtis. Hey, Krista.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going. So Krista, just really briefly about Krista, we met at a conference a while back, back in October, and Krista is actually the founder of this awesome organization called Permanent Change of Storing, which if I can't give you enough kudos for that title or that name, so cute. She's a professional organizer from Southern California and also a psychology graduate. So you could tell we had a few things to talk about, right? Okay, so Krista, tell us a little bit about your background.
So like you said, I have a psychology background, and just kind of that idea of working with a lot of people, helping them kind of get through, some different things led me to kind of this idea of helping people. And I don't know why, but I've just kind of always been drawn to organization and to, just making sure that when things are in their homes and in their places, and you kind of have some simple systems started and everything, then it just kind of makes life flow a little bit better and kind of helps you deal with the unexpected changes that come up, like what we're dealing with now. So, yeah.
Yeah, I've always been envious of people that have like the natural inclination towards, or being hyper organized and maybe even enjoy it. I don't know. Do you enjoy organizing?
Yeah, I would have to say I kind of get some kind of weird, sick satisfaction from just
Yeah,
seeing a space tidied up.
I've heard that that's a thing, but I've not yet to experience it myself. The outcome maybe, but definitely not the process
Right.
there. Okay, Krista. So let's just talk about what's going on. You are in Germany, so you guys are a bit farther ahead in this whole pandemic situation than we are, I think. So can you tell us a little bit about just what you're experiencing, like what's been going on there ever since stuff started kind of hitting the fan?
Sure thing. School's been canceled. A lot of basic appointments and services have been closed or canceled. But some of the kind of necessary stuff is still operational. I have been actually very, very proud of the response here. We're at U.S. Army Garrison Stuttgart, and we're here as a Navy family, which that's like something else, But just kind of seeing how they're really taking it head on. Our garrison commander's really been very informative and making sure everybody stays kind of up to date with what's going on. And he's taking all the right precautions, I think. It's a little tough where we are with, we're in the housing with lots of kids because I have 4 children. and and we're one of the small families here, so there's lots and lots of kids out here, but they did close the playgrounds recently, so you see more people out on their bikes, more people taking walks, kind of skateboarding and everything like that outside, which is nice with the nice weather we're having for this week. But it's been kind of challenging to just think about, like, we really have to stay close to home. It's not a vacation. It's not a just a free for all, like, happy time. It's kind of just got this little bit of a invisible cloud over it of just kind of this preparedness thing we're doing, like, to try and keep this bubble around us.
It's weird, right? It's like it's sunny, or, and there's like kids are playing, they want to play, but you're like, no, like trying to feel them apart, and yeah, I feel you on the playground stuff. Like, I am literally across the street from a park. So my kids are like looking out the window, like, I want to go play. I'm like, no. So yeah, bikes it is.
One time I really missed having a backyard.
Yeah, exactly. So I loved, in one of the groups that we're both in, someone posted that you need enough space to fit a llama between you and whoever. That's what social distancing is, like, fit a llama or maybe 2 alpacas. So I've been telling my kids, like, we need llama space.
No
llama space. You can wave to your friends, but don't get any closer than that. And yeah, it's crazy how they seem to be, like, adapting, I think, a lot more easily than we are when we're kind of thinking and spinning out of control and how long will this last, and there's just a lot of uncertainty. But I'd love to talk, like, about the people that are, like, uncertain right now. So when the DoD memo or whatever came out, it's not even been a week. My goodness. Last Friday night, about the delays on PCSs. It first came out, it seemed a little unclear. It was very or maybe it was travel. Yeah, well, it kind of encompassed both, right? It was travel and I think the first reaction was, oh my God, military spouses can't travel. And I kind of read it that way too. There was a little bit of me that was like, you can't tell me that. But then there was also like, I agree with the recommendation. We shouldn't be traveling. And then it almost gave me permission to not travel, right? Like, oh, well, okay. But turns out that isn't exactly clear. Family members can't travel on official travel. But then also, more importantly, the PCSs have been delayed until May 11th. So tell me a little bit about your, take on that. And maybe let's just break that down a little bit.
Yeah, sure. So you're absolutely right. Family members can still travel. It's in the instructions that it's mostly having to do with the service members and any kind of official travel. So kind of the main concern is anything that's funded by the government, whether it's TDY, TAD, anything like that. And of course, PCSs, those are all on a stop right now. They're not funding that. And that is mostly due to the travel restrictions and just a lot of, like, kind of personnel have been moved around a little bit to kind of aid in the effort, especially in some of these hotbed areas like where we are. And so they just can't focus on moving people right now, which is okay. It's okay to just kind of take a break on that and make sure that things are happening the way they're supposed to happen for now. And this stuff that's going to be happening later will still happen, but there's just going to be this delay. And I found out that there's some actually really good news coming out now from the Pentagon saying that they will be providing cash help to anybody who is not fully moved yet. If you're still in your past duty station and haven't left yet, your service member might have the option to be put into a TDY status and stay there, and you'll be able to get like a per diem or something like that. This is not the case if you're already receiving funds from the command or something like that, housing or food, some allowance your command has set up for you. But this is just across all the services, what they might be able to do for you. So that's really great that they're making some accommodations for families that are really kind of truly in limbo right
Right.
now, especially if you've already moved out of your house, your lease is up, or you sold your house and you
Yeah.
have to move out because the new buyers are going to come in. Like, that's a big deal.
Yeah. We're seeing that a
It's
lot.
not quite PCS season yet, but all of those things are coming up really fast.
Yeah.
So I think they're being aware of that and making sure that they're covering those bases, and that's really great.
Yeah. Excuse me. I've heard of a couple of stories where people had sold their house and needed to vacate the house but hadn't yet solidified, or maybe the movers were coming during this window and then they got canceled, right? But they had to be out of the house. So then they had to go and then hire their own movers to clear out the house. And then are still kind of just in this word limbo. And
Yeah.
y'all, this is affecting everyone. It's not just like all ranks, all services, like everyone's kind of in a different variation of the same sort of like challenge dilemma. Moral of the story is go through your chain of command. Push,
Yes.
push too. Like maybe push. If you're told like, sorry, that's probably not an accurate response. Like keep pushing, maybe go a step higher. And because there are some general exceptions that have been laid out, it's kind of up to each command. Though, like you said, there are going to be special circumstances. They're writing exemptions to policy where applicable. Maybe like go ahead and push the PCS through, even though, but with countries like Germany, you're not going to go. Like it's OCONUS moves are like, nope, sorry guys. Like only really the exemptions are happening stateside. So get with your chain of command, see what's available for you. I've also I watched a town hall here for Fort Bragg, and they were saying that temporary storage facilities would be available for up to 90 days for your stuff if you need to move your stuff out, and they'll work with you on somewhere to stay, just depending on what they figure out to do with you. So don't suffer in silence.
Yes.
This is
just sit there, please don't.
This is not the time for that. Let people know what your situation is. Also, just as a random kind of thought that we have launched a new home share or home listing portal, like website on our site. We're allowing free personal listings. So if you have a house that you're trying to sell right now, and I don't know, is now a good time to sell a house? Probably not. I have no idea. Like there's just so much uncertainty, but I know some people have no choice, right? Like that's the plan. And they're still planning on moving this summer, right? The Pentagon has said, like, we're not saying the moves are off this year. Like, we're just saying we're delaying anything until May 11th. And that we don't know what's going to happen then, right? Like, does everyone get shifted down, or do they work them in, or who knows, right? So we just need to be prepared for like any and all eventuality, right? If you're PCSing this year,
exactly.
There's not a lot of like, I don't have any solid advice for you. It's just kind of like, this is our life, right? Just be prepared for whatever.
But it's definitely not an if situation anymore. Yeah. It's just a matter of when. Yeah. And so whether or not you were supposed to PCS in this window and have a pack out, and maybe you have an exception to that policy because your lease is ending or you sold your house or something like that, I'm glad that they've built that in automatically, that they'll still come and pack you out. But with that, and then also even when the PCSs are reinstated after May 11th, there's going to be a shortage on staff. There's going to be a shortage on containers, shipment containers and trucks and stuff like that, just because things haven't been in motion. So it's going to take a while. So if your stuff does get packed out, you are looking at some form of temporary storage on your side before it even moves across the country or across the world, or even across town. It's probably going to go into temporary storage first.
Right.
That's not the case for everybody. I'm not going to say that, but I want people to take this time to think about how that might affect their personal stuff and what their stuff looks like going into storage.
Absolutely. Yeah, just go ahead and prepare. And y'all, this is the time to be patient, right? These folks are going to be like on a threadbare kind of situation getting us moved. And we know how it goes on normal seasons, right? It's like, super frustrating. So be patient with the folks you're working with. Make sure that you have contact information for everyone that will be touching your things or helping you with this move. So great point about prepping to have your stuff go to storage. Let's say it doesn't go to storage and it arrives to your door. Fantastic. Amazing. You won the pot of gold, right? But let's just all go ahead and pretend like it's probably not going to happen that way. what can we do to start preparing now that also we have all of this glorious time at home? What can we do to start
Right?
prepping for all of that storage time?
So if you haven't had stuff go into temporary storage before, I'm sorry to say I have not had good luck with it. I just personally have not seen it as a necessary step. It just seems like if you know when I'm going to be there and I'm going to be checking in and I can get my stuff right away, can you please just bring it to my house? Why do I have to call and anyway, that's a rational mind thinking, not, military spouse
Sure.
10 years in thinking. So I want to, from now on, like my things are prepped for storage. Like you want to do things even like, oh, sorry, I skipped a page in my notes. When you request a move, or if your move has already been requested, you might even want to consider putting in a little caveat to ask for crates. So that way all of the boxes, your furniture will actually go into the big giant wooden crates. I know normally you only see those for CONUS moves, but I have heard them using them for CONUS moves, especially in this situation. It might be a good choice for those things to go into temporary storage. So that's definitely something. If you have a pack out schedule, delayed or not, this is the good time to purge, to get rid of a lot of that stuff that's either broken, you're never going to fix it, it doesn't fit, toys your kids have grown out of, even stuff that you haven't touched in a year. Think about those boxes that are still sealed from your last move and still have the inventory sticker on them and everything.
Guilty.
Like, let's just, I know, we all are.
But y'all, we're cleaning anyway. We're disinfecting all the things. So like, let's do that now. Yeah, I don't want to. Nobody enjoys it, but there's going to come a day, probably now or yesterday, that you're like going crazy in your house. And it's like, what can I do today?
But it's just a good time to do that, to like actually crack those open, see what's in them. Anything like that is a good time to purge. It's not a good time to take stuff to donation centers or even to consignment shops.
Right.
But there are online versions like Poshmark and Mercari. Don't do Facebook Marketplace right now. You don't need to be meeting up with somebody in a 7-Eleven parking lot to buy something. Like, that's not okay. But you know what I mean? Like, it's just time to like at least do the sort and figure things out like that.
Yeah, Julie says locally I've heard Goodwill and other places aren't accepting donations. I have a whole pile downstairs that I've been just super lazy about and hadn't taken out yet. And now I know I can't and wouldn't want to, because I am not going to disinfect everything. They can't trust me to disinfect it. They can't burden them for doing it. So yeah, we'll just hold on to it. We've got space. So
yeah, it's okay. But as long as you have it sorted, that's great. That's a good first step. And then also pre-packing what you can. And this is where, like, you might want to hop on Amazon or Walmart.com or whatever is available in your area to get some supplies. I hardly ever recommend getting supplies first when I go in to organize a client or offer tips to anybody.
Oh, but that's the best part.
I usually say,
that's how you get excited.
I know, everyone likes to do that. Like, to shop and bring more stuff home. It's great.
Oh, bring more stuff. I get it. I see. Yeah.
But you want to see what you have and what you're keeping first is what I normally say. However, this is a good time when stuff is probably going to go into storage to just go ahead and get those bins, especially if your shops are still open and they haven't had to shut down yet, like in your local area. Get those 16 to 18 gallon giant bins. Those are really great for large toys, pots and pans, kitchen appliances, all your curtains and everything like that after you've washed them. And then even some of the more medium-sized bin, like 3 gallons, those are great for small piece toy sets, any kind of collections, knickknacks, art supplies, office supplies, your spices. I use Tupperware for my spices, but this works. Space bags are great for your clothes and your linens, your towels. You can pack those into dressers, into the furniture that has space, or chests or anything like that. Suitcases that you won't be traveling with, those can also be filled with all kinds of soft stuff, which would be great. Trash bags. This is something that I wouldn't necessarily think of before. I know people always say just put the trash bags over the clothes hanging up in the closet. That's great. But you can also, you put all of your stuffed animals in them, all your pillows, all your comforters, and then even your dirty stuff, like your outside stuff. So your snow tires that you took off your car already for the winter, your yard equipment, if you have shovels, rakes, kids' toys or anything like that, put those in those big XXL trash bags, because if those go into storage with all of your nice, good, clean stuff, then who knows where the dirt's going to end up,
That's a
and
great
everything
point.
like that.
Yeah.
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 It's just one of those little tiny extra steps that will actually make a difference in terms of storage.
Right.
Yeah. And then Ziploc bags of all sizes. I can't say this enough. Like your kitchen utensils, your silverware, any kind of small piece sets. Even just taking like your grocery bags, if you still have them in your county, your plastic grocery bags, and just bagging up some of those sets, all the Legos, everything like that. That's really just, it helps, because I always do the full unpack on the other side. So I have the movers take all the boxes and paper away from me. And so instead of having them dump it out piles of stuff, they're dumping out bags of stuff, and at least I can still kind of have it organized.
That does make sense. Yeah, no, I've done an unpack once. Well, I asked them to, and he got about 20 minutes into it, and I was like, nope, we're not doing this, because he was literally just setting, like, because they packed it so badly, because I didn't do any prep. Like, it was just like miscellaneous, there was no rhyme or reason, and then all my surfaces were filled with, and I was like, this is dumb. So yeah, okay, that's cool. All right, what else you got?
And then some other like little things that you can do. Have your car detailed. You can have your couch or any kind of fabric covered chairs professionally cleaned, assuming those services are still available for you right now. If it involves, social distancing and that kind of thing, just make sure that it gets done in time before your pack out, that they have time to dry, because you don't want mold.
Right.
But it does help to just kind of get those things cleaned and prepped and ready to go, especially going into storage, because if they go in dirty and when they come out, because it's not going into a temperature controlled environment,
that's true.
It might not just be mold, but it'll be musty. You don't know what kind of critters or anything might be able to get in there, if there's crumbs in the couch cushions or something like that. It's just like,
that's really smart.
It's just another step to think about in terms of your stuff going to storage.
I was thinking I'd clean it afterwards. Like, as you're talking, I was already kind of disagreeing with you in my head, but that makes complete and utter sense. You definitely wouldn't want food bits in your couch. Good point. Okay. This is why I don't do this for a living.
And then just a couple things. When you're sorting your kids' clothes and your toys and everything like that, you want to keep in mind, or even your clothes, like if you're pregnant now and you're not going to be pregnant in 3, 4, 5 months, whenever you do get your stuff, you want to kind of just keep in mind that those delays might mean a shift in clothing, a shift in toys, a shift in interest for the season. You might be wearing shorts now if it's starting to get warmer, but if you don't get your stuff until September and you move to a colder climate, you might need a coat. So it's just one of those things that, because of a delay, you have to think a little bit further out of what you're going to need out of that pack out. And so just kind of something to keep in mind.
I know this year is a little different, but do you have any like average or plan on this many months of not having your things?
That really is location dependent.
That's an impossible question. I'm sorry, Krista.
I had to go 6 months without their stuff, literally a half a year. So but I mean, if you're only moving 2 states away, that's probably going to be significantly less. You're probably looking at this 60-day window. Like if you packed out yesterday and you're looking at your stuff not moving out of town until May 11th, you might have stuff in a couple of weeks after that, or within a few days even. But it's so hard to tell at this point. Like, I don't want to promise anybody anything.
What do the Marines say? Semper Gumby? Is that just be flexible? Gosh.
I actually had another Navy spouse tell me once that flexible is too rigid.
Oh my God, it's so true. Or, I heard the coolest term the other day. It's anti-fragile instead of resilient. It's a whole concept. I'll dig in and give you guys a summary later. But apparently it's like, it's not just that you don't break, it's that you get stronger because of the pressure. There we go.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
like that diamond pressure, give me under pressure.
You're right.
Coming out. And then you can do other things like sanitize your clothes washer and any of your big appliances that you happen to be taking with you. That's not normally a thing for Oconus, but if your stuff is going to storage stateside, that's stuff that you want to have cleaned. Have your antique furniture and anything that's high value for you inspected and appraised. And this is a heartbreaking one me because our stuff went into temporary storage when we got to Rhode Island. And I'm pretty sure this is where my 34-year-old rocking chair was just basically shoved into a storage unit and brought back out and put on a truck and brought to my house, and the arms were broken. And I'm just like, no.
That's a good point with art too. If any of you, I mean, if you have art, you probably know this. But yeah, anything that is not something you could just pull up online and get a receipt for, right? That's like a branded, like has a SKU on it. You definitely want to go ahead and at least do that. And we actually have we had a video we did once with an art appraiser to come in and walk us through that process. So I'll dig that up and drop that in the notes. But yeah, I have a ton of antiques. I mean, you can look around, usually in my background there's something. So, and it's hard to put a value on those too. And when you deal with claims on the back end, they may only value your sweet sewing table from your great grandmother at like $50. Cause I mean, what's it worth, right? Like, but the sentimental value is there. So you have to kind of go the extra mile to make sure that you've got a little bit of padding there. And at least you're emphasizing to them, this is a high value item. Treat this. This is one of my precious things. I always kind of rope off. I tell them like, look, I don't care about the IKEA bookshelf. Like, please don't break it, but not a big deal. These are my precious things. Like, treat them well, and I'll let a lot of other stuff slide. You know?
Like, see this box of my husband's shirts that I don't really care for? That can fall off the truck.
That could get stolen, but whatever. Like, yeah, but honestly though, and I think those conversations are fair to have with people, you know, when the movers come, like, hey, listen, these are the things I want you to treat well. This is the thing I'm going to inspect with a magnifying glass when I get it on the back end. If I see damage on this thing, then I'm going to inspect everything. But if this comes okay, I may not even ask you for the claim form. You know what I'm saying? Like, kind of just put it in perspective for them. Like, okay, they can't promise you they won't break everything, right? Like, that's impossible.
Of course.
Especially this year. It's going to be bonkers. But if you just stress to them, like, I love this piece, and personalize it, you know? My great grandmother gave me, you know, like, they're humans. They know, like, okay, girl, I got you. I'll take care of this. And so far, that's worked out fairly well for me, just because I level with them.
Yeah, I can definitely attest to that too. I mean, if there's anything that I consider irreplaceable, and maybe even that I wouldn't call it fixable, that goes on my high value items list. Even if I can't put a number on it that day, I'm still going to say, I want this on this special inventory list because I want this to make it there.
Also, just to note, there have been some changes with the claims process. I believe that are effective this season. I'm making notes. I'm going to circle around and try to get you guys some information on that, because I know I recently even just published a piece for military.com about the claims process. It's already dated. So some of the numbers, they're actually in a good way. They're giving you more time to do the claim. So it's a good thing. But we'll
more time. They're giving the service member the option now to choose replacement value or repair value, like whatever they need to do. There so many great things came out of that Inspector General report that was back in January, I think, and like some new changes that were supposed to start May 1st, but that got pushed back a little.
Hold that loosely. I don't know.
Exactly. But yeah, and then just kind of going back to that high value item for all of your things, even your TV, your computers, some of the things that you do find special in your home, your kitchen appliances. It's so good, such a good idea to do a inventory list, your own inventory list. Like, write down the serial number, write down the model number, take a picture of it working or a video of it working, whatever you need to do. Because that's just gonna hopefully be something that you don't need on the back end, but you will definitely wish you had if anything happens come claim time.
Boldface exclamation point with that, y'all. It's too easy. You take your phone, you walk through your house, you snap a couple pictures. I actually went through and put measurements on mine. You know, any of the photo sharing apps, like even Instagram, like you could even do like a story, like not publish it or whatever, but I put in measurements. It helped me like plan out the new house, and if it goes to storage, you forgot how much stuff you have, guaranteed.
Yes.
Oh crap, where was I going to put that bureau, right? And then also you've got videos of all of it, like in the condition it was when it was good and fine. Yep, you probably won't need it, but then you have it. Get some cloud storage space somewhere and just upload them all in an album. I still go back to my album 2 PCSs ago. And honestly, yard sales, and when you're cleaning out for stuff like that, the stuff that I didn't sell, I still have pictures of all that stuff. If I want to sell it, I've got the picture that I took from the inventory, like get to the new house, it doesn't fit. Oh, well, let me just use that picture for the marketplace or whatever when everything goes back to normal. So I cannot stress that enough. It's too easy to not do. So do that.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. What else? Oh, so I'm talking. Well, did I interrupt you mid thought? Do you have more?
Oh, no, I was going to say 2 things that are really great for inventorying. Our friend CC Gallagher, the Stress Less PCS kit.
Yep.
That's such a great, phenomenal tool to just kind of take charge of what you have and everything like that, especially if you're doing a ditty move, if you're going to pack yourself out. That's like a super huge tool. If you are going to go grab some of those bins from Walmart or something this week, is such a really cool tool that I found out about at Walmart. They have them. You can also buy them online. It's called the, I don't have it in my notes, but it's from Duct Tape, but it's like the Pack and Track. Oh, that's what they are.
Pack and Track. Yeah.
Yeah, love them. Oh my gosh, they have little QR codes on it. You stick that onto your box, and it has the number there too. You scan that, and then you put that into the app and just type out everything that's in that bin. And then when you're like, oh my gosh, where's my hairdryer or something like that, you can just type in hairdryer, and it will tell you which bin it's in. It's like so stinking amazing. And if your stuff is going into storage, that just seems like mind blowing. I would love that. Like I can't wait to buy some.
Really love to put and I would say these are expensive, so this is not feasible. At some point in time, it would be so cool if those stickers had like some kind of geo tracker on them, like a GPS,
I know.
on each stick. We're gonna get there, y'all. It's gonna be a thing. You watch, or somebody should make it a thing.
The other day that they have new shipping boxes that can be reused like 1,000 times, and they have that. They have like little GPS tracker in it or something like that, and like you can even change. It's like a digital label too. So if you have to do a return, you just stick the thing back in there and change the address, and it goes back.
Oh my god, it's so smart! It's so smart. Or like even just the little tiles would be cool. But also, fun tip. I just learned this the other day. I want to share. Your camera, at least on an iPhone, I'm not sure about like Android devices, but your camera will scan QR codes now. Like you don't need a separate app anymore. You just open up your camera and it recognizes it. So even just sharing websites and stuff like that, I kind of thought QR codes were going to go out of style. Like they were just kind of a pain to have another app.
No, they are
so cool.
They seemed like one of those things that you're like, what? No, I want to do that. But no, they're incredibly
cool. Really cool. Yeah. So y'all check into that. You got plenty of time to mess around with all that stuff. And the Pack and Track labels are super cool. I've seen those. I haven't used them yet, but they seem really neat.
Right.
I want to say hey to a couple of people. Hey, Jen. Jen's here. She says, I love it. We're all just diamonds in the making. So true. Julie says, there we go. As far as productivity, the additional time spent homebound definitely lends to more time for easy home reno projects that can increase your home's value. Super true. I just renovated a bedroom and turned it into an office. It's still kind of in the works. But yeah, we painted and moved furniture all weekend. It was great. Okay, Jen is working behind the scenes for us. Thank you, Jen, for the official DoD customer moving portal and information regarding damage claims. Thank you. And then let's see. And we've got the Pack and Track label link as well in here. Yeah. So, and Julie says x-ray goggles that allow you to see into a box without opening it. Yeah, that would be.
Oh gosh, that would be amazing.
And like a robot to like lift and levitate your things for you. Yeah, let's just put in all the requests. Maybe first a vaccine for COVID, and then we'll work on all the rest. Everybody in the science land right now is working on that.
Prioritize.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay. So what else should we be talking about, Krista? Is there anything else that we could be doing productively with our time right now?
I'm sorry. If you need to do like a little commercial break, I gotta run and grab my charger cable.
Yeah. I do actually. Thanks for
your thing. Okay.
Okay, well, we're going to do our quick little plug for Boldly. You guys, first of all, I just want to say, thank you for watching, first of all. Hopefully this information is helpful for you. And no, it's kind of hard to project what's going to happen, how long these isolations and delays and things are going to be going on. But I always find it helpful to do something productive and feel like I'm making progress on something. And especially if you are facing a PCS this year, I know it seems hard to grasp in the moment because you don't know what your plans are. But now is a really fantastic time to be doing something productive, like purging your stuff, like having your kids go and like decide what toys they're willing to donate or get rid of. This schooling from home is no joke. Hang in there. If I can do it, we can all manage. But yeah, just try to focus on one day at a time. We say one box at a time when you're unpacking, right? One room at a time when you're setting up your house. Right now, it's definitely going to be a one day at a time situation. Okay, our partners at Boldly are fantastic and amazing. And we're fantastic before all this, but remote jobs are sounding more and more appealing as the days go on. No one's really sure how long this period of social distancing is going to work. So I've definitely been hearing of more people looking for remote employment opportunities, and Boldly has several. So they are actually recruiting for W-2 positions. Y'all, that means time off, pay time off, benefits, all that good stuff, and working with an amazing team who values and recognizes military spouse talent in the workforce. They have really high-powered clients, people like Apple and Zendesk. So you'll be working with other organizations from within the Boldly team in jobs like project management, recruiting, virtual assisting, paralegals, and more. So if you have 7 or more years of experience in any of those industries, digital marketing is another big one, look them up and send in your application. I can tell you firsthand, they're just such a cool team. I really have enjoyed working with them and just want to say thank you once again to Boldly and the entire team for sponsoring this round of our Baseside Chats. So back to Krista. that was seamless. It was great. Okay, Krista, do you have any parting words for our followers, maybe to help stay sane and, focus on what's important right now, whether it's, keeping your family safe and healthy all the way to preparing for this insane PCS season that's coming up?
Yeah, and it sounds funny, but like we have been kind of operating under Olaf's little mantra right at the beginning of Frozen 2, where he says, "This is called controlling what we can when things seem out of control."
Oh,
I,
I love it.
I'm sorry.
No, it's true. It's so true. Yeah.
It's just, so much is going on around us that we really can't, get a grip on and can't fully understand. We're not immunologists. We're not any of the doctors. We're not any of the garrison command people that have a whole weight of the world literally on their shoulders right now. And I can't imagine that. But I have my 4 little people, I have my husband, and we have, our home to take care of, and just kind of moving along and trucking along, and we're doing what we can with what we got. So that's just kind of where we're at. And I really want to just offer that to other people to say, everything's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And we're all going to get through this. We've seen some tough times before. A friend of mine, all these memes are going around about military life and government canceling your plans and stuff like that. But
yeah.
But and I want to. People even made the joke like, I'm available for coaching if you'd have never had this before, And that's not so much where I'm at, but I do want to say like that the military life has kind of prepared me sometimes for this kind of situation. And I know no matter how the dark the days get, no matter how anxious I can feel, God's always going to get me through to the other side. And I just have to rely on that and hope that tomorrow's better. And if it's not, hopefully next week is better, and so on.
I love that. And So the one thing that I want to add, I've been thinking a lot about, I've seen a few, really beautiful blog posts about this, and just the sacrifices that we feel like we're making right now. Like, yeah, this is hard. Like, it's hard to be stuck in your house and to do the social distancing properly. And we're still kind of trying to understand whether or not does it work? Does it, the greatest generation was called upon to plant gardens and ration fuel and ration food. And even so far as to like black their curtains out at night, just so that light wouldn't shine through their homes. And, give away big city centers and stuff. And everyone did it because they were doing their part. Were they at immediate and imminent risk in Idaho? No, they weren't. But they were doing their part to support the effort. So I'm considering what we're going through right now as sort of a virtual victory garden. We can do our part. We can reach out, we can FaceTime with friends, we can, even neighbors, right? Like even neighbors, I'm like, it's real. Not going to the playground is tough for you and the kids, but it's not a snow day. We are literally planting our gardens right now, and possibly even really planting a garden here soon. But just keep that in mind, you guys. Heed the warnings, heed the recommendations. It's serious, but we've got plenty of things we can focus on right here in our own four walls, and Krista can help us do that. So thank you so much, Krista. This was calming for me. I'm not PCSing, but I might actually go through and start sorting and organizing.
Hey, the best time to do it is when you don't need to do it.
Oh, honestly. I like that. That goes for everything, to include research and your next duty station. And you guys, don't forget, we have tons of resources available for you on our site. If you're still kind of up in the air and can't make any moves, you can't really do anything right now, learn more about your new duty station. So come to us, gomillie.com. for all of that great information. Don't forget about the listing service too, you guys. If you have a house for sale for rent, even a temporary home. So maybe you're open to short-term leases for folks that maybe are displaced at a place. This portal will allow you to list it as a short-term rental. They're calling them vacation rentals. Clearly right now it's not a vacation, but we're going to allow those for free for the next 45 days or so. So, okay, Krista, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you so much. Be safe, stay sane, and hug all your kiddos for me.
All right. Thanks, Kelly.
Bye. Okay, everybody, that'll do it for this week. We will be back next Wednesday with another great chat. But for now, I just want to leave you with one more emphatic request to follow all of the guidelines from the CDC. Make sure that you are socially distancing, keeping those hands clean, and keeping your hands away from your face, okay? Everybody hang in there. Join the group, Moving the MILLIE Way. We've got a ton of people in there already having conversations about, how to manage this, how to navigate this PCS season, and be sure to let us know if you're facing a challenge, or if there's something that we can either point you to a resource that exists, or if you know of a resource that exists, we want to hear about that too. So until next week, everyone, take care. We'll see you next time.